Schlockmeister fans. He's the best damn pilot in the sky, drunk or sober. Cliff Robertson is the pilot. Let's check it out. Cliff Robertson as the pilot. Mike Hagan. He's also an alcoholic, in addition to his piloting skills. All right.
Departure ident.
That's our co-pilot.
North American 469 radar contact traffic 11 o'clock. 2 miles southbound, light twin at 2,500.
There's a beach baron over at 9 o'clock.
And that's our pilot. Anyway, Mike is so alcoholed up that, or alcoholic up, that he sneaks a flask on board. Apparently he can't keep it on his person though. He hides it in the bathroom under the sink and takes a nip when he's on his flights. There was turbulence on his flight.
Ms. Campbell, Captain Hagan is being considered for our Pilot of the Year award.
If Mike Hagan thinks
It's reasonable to divert to Anchorage, Alaska. He still has my blessing. Now, do you understand?
So Mike decided to divert the flight to avoid some turbulence, whereas the next plane decided to go right through. And that plane's going to have some problems. Clearly not everybody was buckled. They're going to make it, but it was close. I think Mike made the better decision between the two planes. Booze or not.
Cisco dispatch. 469 diverted around the turbulence.
Why didn't the other flight follow?
I don't know, sir. United and American got knocked around too.
You get me, Joe Barnes. Tell him we're taking a veer to San Francisco.
Yeah, Mike is clearly an alcoholic. He takes that flask with him wherever he goes.
Lawyers, doctors, I don't know where I read something.
There are suspicions that he's been drinking on the job.
Pretty low on the totem pole, wouldn't you say? Oh, I know, Mike. Hits it a little hard from time to time, but...
He drinks royally, Schlock.
Rely on each other. A co-pilot doesn't just walk into the flight director's office and squeal when his captain, especially a high-timer like Mike. He could lose his license, losing his job, ground.
This is Pat, Mike's girl.
I love you, Mike.
They're in love, apparently. Anyway, when he's not flying the big planes, he's flying some small planes and teaching his daughter Cricket how to fly.
Big boss.
Drinking again. He's gonna puke. Next to this guy's ride, and he doesn't like that.
Get off my ride, man.
Anyway, hitting his hidden flask again on his next flight. And oh no, there ain't none left. But he knows what to do. Take some of those passenger bottles in the back that the stewardesses have. Now this stewardess is starting to suspect that he's been drinking.
What's our DME?
Another problem in the air.
Altitude 300 feet.
All right, we're going down, boys. We got no choice.
There they are. Close, Mikey. Dead ahead.
But not to worry, Mike sticks the landing. He gets called out by his co-pilot.
I'm sorry, Captain. I'm not flying with you anymore.
Nancy, the stewardess, decides to narc on Captain Mike.
But Captain Hagan had gone into the head with an empty cup in his hand. Now, is that it?
Well, he goes in there quite often with an empty cup. The water fountain is outside.
Give me your background.
He knows he's an alcoholic, so he does see a doctor about it.
Before your flights.
During the flight start.
That's a problem.
Last week I had a flight to the West Coast. I was supposed to land at Denver, but I ran out of booze and I kept on going all the way to Sacramento, and I came in very low on fuel and very fast.
He gives him some pills and a plan on how to wean himself off.
You go to the yellow line, but you can't cheat. The stars have to agree with the booze in the shot glass.
The higher-ups are now talking about the possible drinking problem of Mike.
Clean. I checked yesterday.
Any accidents?
Who? Mike? Never been a problem.
Well, if he's drinking and flying, I ought to be able to find it out.
So they've given him a new co-pilot who knows it's one of these high-ranking officials that's going to try to, for lack of a better term, spy on Mike to see what he does. So is she. Got his bottle. And this dude goes looking for whatever, flask, whatever, and he totally misses it, even though it's right there. The next time they've rigged the toilet so it doesn't work, keep him out of there. Another experiment.
What happened in the lavatory?
It still wasn't flushing. Captain, the other one's working. Forget it.
Yeah, I think we made a bad mistake.
Captain, I don't understand.
The man has some kind of allergy. Those trips to the laboratory were for medication.
In reality, he has the DTs. He's shaking.
Get to my spooker.
Not until we landed, Doc.
Did you take the pills?
Yeah, I took them. My head hurt.
Shaking like jackhammers, Doc. Look, you're almost there. Just take 2 more pills. Do you have any with you? Yeah.
Anyway, so nobody thinks he's an alcoholic anymore. And he's obviously working on his problem. Of course, the plane has a problem next time he goes up. Unbeknownst to him,
How's number 4, Larry?
Okay, good.
there's a leak. Which leads to a problem as they're trying to take off. But like he always does,
Help the passengers quick.
Mike finds a way to save the day. And even though he wasn't actually drinking this time, he hadn't even taken off yet. The bottle is found.
You've been drinking, Mike? No, sir.
What do I do with you, Mike?
Nothing, Joe. I'm quitting.
Quitting? For how long?
Maybe for good.
Anyway, he had nothing to do with that near accident, and it ends with him doing what he loves best, flying little planes. That's his daughter, Cricket. All right, let's talk about the movie The Pilot. Now, this was put out by Paragon Home Video, a VHS company back in the 80s. I rented a lot of Paragon movies, actually, at least what I could find. They're kind of rare tapes, if you ask me, but there were some stores that had some of them, and they were always obscure horror movies that ended up being hard to find later on, years later. A lot of them are on a DVD, and they always had ads at the end of their tape or at the beginning of their tapes. One of those ads was for a movie called The Pilot. Now, I used to copy all of these ads and make like tapes of trailers and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. I usually did like horror movies and that sort of thing, but for some reason I kept the trailer for The Pilot, and I was always curious about that movie. I don't know why. Eventually, I found this movie at a video video store once I moved to the Milwaukee area in the very late 90s. Rented it and copied it, watched it. I don't remember much about it. I don't remember it being bad. But so there you go. So now, of course, I'm trying to upgrade all of my tapes to disc. Not available on DVD, so I made a DVD out of the pre-recorded VHS tape, which I now own of this thing. And I watched it again today. The Pilot. It's actually not a bad movie at all. It's based on a novel called The Pilot. I believe they kind of almost remade this movie a few years ago called Flight, which, was that Denzel Washington? I'm not sure. Basically what we have here is an alcoholic pilot who occasionally takes a few nips while he's in the air. He keeps his little flask hidden in the bathroom underneath the sink, kind of jammed up high so nobody can find it. He periodically sneaks off to get a little bit and comes back. Well, he gets under the suspicion of one of the flight attendants who apparently rides with him on all of his flights. I don't know. And she keeps track of this. She reports it, and they don't really believe it because he's one of their best pilots ever. He's already gotten them out of a couple of jams with his skillful piloting, and he's up for some sort of award. Nonetheless, they decide to investigate it, and turns out he knows he's got a problem, and he's trying to kick it himself, and he goes to this doctor who tells him, basically, wean yourself off of it, take some of those pills, whatever. So, of course, once he's being under investigation, secretively, by his co-pilot, actually, they find nothing. They find no flask. They find nothing. So, they think it's just some sort of allergies thing, and they all made a big mistake. However, near the end of this movie, there's another close call, and a flask is found. And they ask him, when they catch him afterwards, they ask him and say, hey, and he denies that he was drinking, which I believe was true. He was not, but then he says, don't worry about it, I'm going to quit. And they said, for how long? He said, I don't know, maybe for a while, maybe permanently, who knows. And then he goes back to flying like small planes, like acrobat type planes. I don't know what you call those things. And he's teaching his daughter how to fly too. Anyway, that's the movie, The Pilot. So Cliff Robertson is the star. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a PG film. I'm sure it is. There's no nudity. There's no gore. There's no nothing. There's not even any plane crashes. A couple of near misses. No deaths, I don't think, whatsoever in this movie. It's just basically drama about an alcoholic pilot. It's not a bad film at all. I've never seen Flight, but that had good reviews too, so I don't know. But yeah, The Pilot's a decent movie, so what are you going to do? So that's all I got to say about The Pilot. So check it out. Let me know if you've seen this thing. It's a rare type film. Like I said, not available on DVD, but I'll leave a link to the VHS tape on Amazon if you're looking for it. It's getting kind of pricey, though, so check it out. Leave some comments. The Pilot. Watch it. Bye.